Well, hey everyone, welcome along to another little video. And today I'm going to be out on the bike, obviously, because I'm on the bike already. I'm sitting here, so I've got to be out on the bike. Anyway, you may have noticed quite a few different things. One is, since my last video when I was asking should I sell the Hypermotard SP, well, guess what? I did. I sold it. It took me a few weeks to think that one through, but I definitely decided that I wanted to let me just make sure I'm going in the right direction here. Here we are. Yes, I definitely wanted something with suspension that worked better for me, and whatever I did with the Hypermotard SP, couldn't get it to be compliant over the bumpy roads. Fantastic at high speeds in corners, fantastic bike overall, would love to have one again if only I could work out how to make the suspension better. So I decided to go for this Multistrada S, 1260 Multistrada S. Got it from Ducati Leeds, or Cobb & Jagger as it is in Shipley really, and dealt with Paul there, the sales guy, very good guy. As it happened, I mean, I lost a heck of a lot of money because the SP, I lost about £4,500 on that, given I bought it only earlier this year and traded it in. But I also traded in the BMW S1000R, so I'm a one bike man now. I don't have two bikes anymore, and to be quite honest with you, one of them was pretty much sitting in the garage most of the time, so I just couldn't justify having two, and so I decided to stick with one. And I wanted to get something that was comfortable, that was good on suspension, that still had that twin oomph that the Hypermotard SP had, but was a little bit nicer in suspension. So that's the first thing. I've got a new bike, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. I'm on my way over to Scarborough today, and I have going to meet with a mate over in near Castleford area very shortly, and then heading over to Scarborough via Malton on some of the nice roads. So I'll try and see if I've got enough battery in the GoPro to record that. I don't know what the sound's like on this video because I have sort of pretty much rattled together this morning the camera back on the helmet again, and I don't even know if it's recording or it's at the right angle or anything, because I quite literally just slapped it together about 10 minutes before I came out the house, because I tried it yesterday on the chest harness, which worked quite well on the Hypermotard SP. And the trouble with this bike is there's a lot more going on here at the front, and with this tank bag that you can see here too, it was just getting really too much of the view was blocked, and so I decided to go back for the helmet mounted cam. I was trying to sort of work out how to mount it on the chin this morning, but didn't quite get there, didn't quite work that out. So it's back to the old side mounted camera. See if we get any nods. He didn't seem to nod whatsoever. Swine. Anyway, so yes, we're on the road. Stuck behind a van and a car, and life is great, you know. I absolutely love this bike, it really is. It's one of those things, isn't it? You get a bike like this after having something like a Hypermotard SP and an S1000R, and I have to say that the Hypermotard SP, without a shadow of a doubt, is a bike that has had more conversations started by people who are other bikers or people who are not bikers at all, just coming up and chatting away and asking about the bike. Everybody loved that bike. and it was a real conversation starter. But with the Multistrada, it doesn't have that same appeal, and I must admit that before I decided to get one, that I hadn't really considered a Multistrada. You know, I'm getting a little bit older now, so it does fit, I suppose. The image does fit, but I still want to make it look as sort of sporty and racy within the form that it is as I can do. And I really like the Pikes Peak look. Now, why didn't I go for the Pikes Peak? Well, one reason, and one reason only really, or perhaps two. First reason was the suspension. It's Öhlins again. Now, you know, I've always believed that Öhlins was the best suspension, or certainly one of the best suspensions available, and the look and feel of the bike is great with them. You know, those gold forks and all the rest of it. Great looking bike, the Pikes Peak Multistrada. But I just didn't want to take that risk again of having suspension that was essentially kind of tuned in. What the hell is going on here? We're going at like 20 miles an hour. The Pikes Peak is tuned in a little bit racy again, and I wanted something that I could go on longer tours with, and also still have the oomph. So it's the same engine, the same spec in that respect. One or two bits and bobs of carbon added to the Pikes Peak, and the sort of sticker kit on it is a bit different. So I went for the Multistrada 1260S, because it's got the Skyhook suspension, which I have to say is brilliant. It really is. You know, it's all electronically controlled, and you know, some people will say, oh, it's electronically controlled, it's bound to go wrong. Well, you know, it may do at some point, but usually I've got rid of a bike by the time that those kinds of things happen. I've had other bikes with that. You know, the S1000R had that, and the GS's and the RT all had electronically controlled suspension. So I went for that again, and I decided to sort of set it up in a way that allows me to have a firmer ride when I'm in the sport mode, and a nice soft ride when I'm in the touring mode and the urban modes. Oh, I can't, this is absolutely dreadful. I'm gonna have to do some overtaking here soon, because this is just like, this is horrendous. I don't know if he's not got a throttle in that bus or what, but well, there's a junction there. I'm going to take a little bit to make sure this van doesn't come out. Wouldn't normally do that at a junction, but he was driving me up the wall. Yeah, so I went for the Multistrada 1260S in red, and I've got some bits and pieces coming for it. Might get some carbon on it, don't know yet, haven't decided. But I've got a sticker kit which makes it look a little bit like the Pikes Peak. I'm coming in the post from Italy. I have ordered the carbon screen as well for the summer riding, because it's great to have a screen in winter. It's not quite as necessary in summer, so it'd be nice to have a little shorter and better looking screen on it. What else have I got? So I put all the Evotech radiator guard, the oil cooler guard, and the engine front guards are all on it now. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at the minute. New bike, different style, a lot of the same characteristics as the Hyper, but suspension that is nice, and it, because you know, it's a 1260cc, so it's got a lot of oomph as well, and the exhaust sounds great. The exhaust sounds slightly better than the Hyper, very similar, just a little bit louder than the Hyper Motard SP was. So it feels bloody lovely, it really does. It's fantastic in cornering, really stable. These Pirelli Scorpion Trail tyres on it, Trail 2 tyres on it, you know, they're really sticky. I've never, for that kind of tyre, I've never really experienced this kind of stability and stickiness. And it shifts as well, does this bike? absolutely got the oomph when you need it, no question about it at all. One bloody lovely bike. Anyway, what I'll do now is I will stop the video here, I think, and then pick up a little bit further down the road when I meet up with my mate. He's got a new KTM, and we're going to head out to Oliver's Mount. Stay tuned. Am I recording?
Yes.
This is Jake. He is on new bike. It is KTM 790 Duke. He in disguise. But the one thing he hasn't done, and I tried to get him to do it now, and this is 10 times I've asked him to do it, is remove those yellow things on the side there, those reflectors. Honestly, I know it's because it's orange and you're trying to just match it up with the, isn't it? Or something like that. It is astonishingly warm today. 28 degrees now. It was 29 degrees a little while ago. Perfect weather for feeling like you're in a sauna when you're on the bike. What more can you ask for? Well, I'm on my red bus and here I am, ready to go, I think. I know he's been ready for about 10 minutes, but normally it takes him 10 minutes to get his gloves on, so you know. Can you hear me exhaust? Right then. Show him where Seaways is. Ooh, some nice breeze. You can't beat a bit of nice breeze. I mean, I've put what, 378 miles on it already. I've had it now, what, 3 days? So, yeah, and you can ride for miles on it. The first day, the seat was a little bit hard, but now it is starting to soften and it is starting to get really comfortable. And I think with these bikes, during that running period, everything starts to just ease off. The quick shifter, yeah, it's got a quick shifter and an auto blipper thing. All that sort of stuff, the gearbox, everything just begins to bed in nicely. It's got some good stuff on here. I've got the GPS mounted now in place on this bracket. I hadn't for the last couple of days. I was sort of putting it on a bit of a ramp mount thing and it was just getting in the way of the tank bag, and it was hidden behind the tank bag, or it either was in the wrong place there or it hid part of the bike screen. So now I've got the proper bracket for it, it is better. It is one beautiful day though, really. The weather, the scenery, everything. Heading out to the east coast, you can, on the way up to Malton and on the way across then from Malton to Scarborough, I think has got some of the very best roads there are in the UK. I really do. I mean, I've been just about everywhere in the north, and there's a lot of roads up here, you know, for biking. There's a whole host of roads that you could choose from, but just around here there's something about the combination of, I think, the scenery and the roads. You know, you're not just sort of talking really about one or the other. You've got this diversity of colours, the sun shining, it's fairly flat in comparison with some of the hillier areas, so you can see for miles. If it weren't for sort of these hedges like this that have grown quite wild this summer. Sort of like doing, well, best part of 50. I think I'm going to overtake this chap because I think otherwise we're going to be here all day. Let's just have a little around. I've got it in touring mode, so if I want to put it into sport, I just press that button there, which brings it to another screen. Select sport, press it, and it just says close throttle, so do that, and then it goes into sport mode. And that gives you, the way I've got it set up on here now, is the suspension is a bit firmer. Pretty much the same power, but I've just made a few tweaks on a few settings. It tells you, if you can see, I don't know if you can see that screen through the camera, but down in the bottom right hand corner it's got all sorts of different values for traction control and anti-wheelie and all that sort of stuff. Getting plenty of nods back today. Hey! Well, this is Oliver's Mount. I'll just take a quick look at the view from the top of the steps, which is somewhere I've been for quite a few years now and didn't realise this existed. Well, here we are at Oliver's Mount. Yeah, that's it. That's the starting line thing there on the old Multistrada. It's looking a bit fly beaten today, and it's a bloody hot day as well. So time to go and get some water, I think. My mate's gone down that way, and he's gone one more lap around. So we'll film him as he's coming back down the old thing. So I just want to let you have a listen to the exhaust on this little bike, just to see what you think of that. Get it into neutral first. It's the Termignoni, if I can ever say it. Here you go, have a listen. Sounding little exhaust on it, and it is a brilliant bike actually. The one thing I can never do, if I find the microphone in this helmet because I'm holding it rather than wearing it, it's too hot. One thing I can never do is deal with the hairpins very well here at Oliver's Mount. It's oh god, nearly fell over. Yeah, the hairpins here are pretty hard going unless it's something you're good at doing, and I'm not, so we'll see Jake as he's flying by. And that was his flyby